I am here right now with Bjergsen, the first person I get to interview in 2017. I'm very excited about this, Bjergsen. Your team has changed just a little bit since last year. You now have Wild Turtle on the team. What is it like having him back?
It's been a lot of fun. I think he fit into the team pretty easily. I think everyone who knows Turtle knows that he's a person that's easy to be with, talk to, and even be in a team with. I've never heard anyone who's played with Turtle say anything negative about him, so it's been a good transition.
Yeah. Let's talk about that first match, so against Cloud9. It seems like nobody really knows what to expect from LCS this year, kind of, same thing, but in particular this year, it just seems like it's kind of a toss-up. What do you think happened in that Cloud9 match?
C9 just seemed better prepared. They played better. Honestly, they were just the much better team in the series. It was pretty obvious that they knew what we were going to pick, what kind of playstyle we were going to go for, and they had drafts ready to counter every single one. So I was really impressed with C9's play. I think especially this first week when all the other regions are just starting up. I think LCK started 4 days ago. EU LCS started 2 days ago. So you haven't really had time to see anything. You just kind of had to go with the meta that you felt was strongest. We went with what we felt was strongest, and I think C9 had a better read on the meta.
Do you feel like you guys are in a pretty good place? It's just sort of locking down that meta and then you'll be there, or are there still kinks in like the playstyle and team coordination you guys are trying to figure out?
It definitely wasn't just picks. We also had a lot of misplays. They played better than us overall. I think we have a pretty solid base though, but we've kind of had trouble finding the best scrim partners because C9 and IMT are the teams we're facing, and I think these are really good teams and teams that we want to be scrimming, but we weren't able to. So I think going back, watching these replays and getting to scrim these really strong teams again will improve fast.
Do you think C9 and IMT are the teams to beat right now, or do you have ideas out there of other teams that might kind of surprise or be pretty solid early on?
I think it's hard to say, but at the moment, I think we still overpower a lot of teams in terms of our individual skill. And in scrims, that's often what happens. If you have the strong individual players, you crush lane, snowball the game. You don't learn as much strategically playing around your strengths, which we didn't do very well in these games. So I think IMT and C9 have really strong individual players, so there's not going to be these like stompy scrims. It's going to be close early games that's going to lead into more strategic play.
I haven't heard from any players yet on the new ban system and how they feel about it. I'm curious for you, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a lot of fun. I think it kind of puts you in a position where you might have to whip out a champion that you haven't really been practicing or never played before. So I think it's going to show a lot of, who can play these champions without a lot of practice and who has a deep enough champion pool. If you have a tiny champion pool, that means you're forced to pick your champion really early, so otherwise they might be able to ban it out in the second phase or pick a champion and then ban out the counters. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to really show which teams are better prepared.
How much does it change kind of like the thought process and strategy going through picks and bans? Like, is it far more stressful for you guys now? Is it just different? Do you feel like you kind of have to go back from the start and relearn everything you know about how to go through a pick and ban?
Yeah, the first week or two was pretty rough. You have 30 seconds for each pick, so the amount of times drafts had to be redone in scrims where someone misses a pick because there's only 30 seconds, or they pick something they're like, oh, we just got screwed. We're going to have to do this again. So I think for everyone, it's going to take a lot of adaptation, and it's mostly really on the coaches to master the draft system.
Yeah. Is there a point in time where you guys just had to say, like, no, we're not going to remake? Like, you just have to deal with this? Because I'm sure, it can kind of become like a crutch just restarting every time there's a draft issue.
I think we're one of those teams that are more likely to be like, well, we might make this mistake on stage, so we kind of have to go through with it.
Yeah.
Whereas I know a lot of the teams we play against still dodge, and the scrims go really late. But I think it is good to have that mentality that you're not going to have the perfect draft on stage every single time. I don't think we had the perfect drafts today, but we still could have won the games.
Yeah. Finally, kind of a weird question here, but it wouldn't be, Travis' interview, especially with TS in person, without bringing up somebody. Is there just like a ghost of Doublelift somewhere in the house somewhere, or like do you just look over and see like a empty pile of mess that he's left somewhere and think about him, or how is he just out of sight, out of mind now?
Oh, really? I still talk to Peter fairly often, or Doublelift. I know the others do. Sometimes bounce things off of him about like AD carry picks and kind of what he thinks about the meta and just stuff like that. He's still a resource and a friend to all of us, so no one's forgotten him. He's not dead to us yet. Yeah.
Well, he's dead to me. He's moved to Washington. It's over. I'm never going to talk. No, it's cool. We've been playing video games. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the TSM fans out there who are really excited for the new year and to see what you guys have?
We had a loss. I think you guys need to – I haven't read any Reddit comments, Twitter comments, but don't crucify Turtle. It's not his fault. Turtle was not the reason we lost today, and there's just a lot of things we need to work on. But I just don't want the fans to go out there and be like, bring back Doublelift, Turtle fucking sucks, when I don't think that's the case at all for this game.
Who has more pressure on them in LCS this week, Turtle or Link?
Definitely Turtle.
Okay.
I think people have lower expectations for Link than they do for Turtle, actually.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Bjergsen, for having a chance to talk to me on the first week here. Really excited to see how the team does this split. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.